How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Vinny? What up, guys?
Nino, Jack, good seeing you guys.
All right, gentlemen, I'll just cut to the chase. I'll keep it short and sweet. First of all, I want to thank you guys for coming here because I think this meeting and what gets talked about may dictate the entire economy and pace of the city. I'm going to start off by giving a simple example of certain things going on that I think personally is a problem. And I want us to find a solution here in this meeting, or at least begin working to figure out a way to amend the problem. So I give an example. My car breaks down. I got two options. I go to a legitimate business where people have done the legwork, have found a property, have brought on customers, and are doing business the right way. Or I can pop open the trunk and see that my radiator is busted. I then call up a friend. We sneak over to the sanitation department, put a sneaky little yellow vest on, pretend to be sanitation workers, go through some dumpsters, sneak some parts, then take it to a friend of mine who puts it together in his fucking basement and repairs the car in a back alley somewhere. That is a business model, the second one, the second example, that I don't think people should be supporting. I think that if somebody, for example, needs a car repaired, they should be willing to fork over a few extra dollars and go to people who are doing business the right way. Now, that example is creeping all across different sectors in San Andreas. And what I want to do is figure out a way to
Zach, thank you, baby.
Fix that problem. Now, over at the lumberyard, we have similar issues. And I know, Lang, with the sanitation union, you too have similar issues. The one thing we have is, I'll speak for myself, us union members, we're about 20, 30 strong. We collectively do not support that private back alley businessman, for lack of better words. When we find out somebody is practicing in that way, we blacklist them. We decide not to do business with them. I think if there's the collective understanding and we have 3, 4 different factions with a wide network of people agree to not do business with these back alley dealers, then that's a net positive for all of us involved. We have people at the lumberyard who have, since day one, been chopping trees, working to get their rep up, and are very experienced in what they do. When it happens, the foreman trusts us with a certain set of blueprints. What frustrates me to no end is people sneaking in there, chopping trees with no intention of being a lumberjack or pursuing that profession, dumping logs at the base of the tree and trying to cheat Axel into promoting them so they can get access to blueprints.
Wake up, Chad. I know Shotz' nursing home is sleeping. Damn, bro.
Gets a bench installed and turns into Albert Einstein. He's crafting car parts, he's building tables, he's building cupboards, he's making computers. Again, I think this here is
Mr. Chang, stop yelling at people. Wake them up, Mr. Chang.
I think if
wake them up, Mr. Chang,
who do business the right way, for example, Mr. Nino here, Poplar, then we agree or come to a certain understanding that we support a specific type of business model, even if that means we pay a little bit extra. Even if that means we pay $100, $200, maybe even $1,000 more for a service. But at least that service is being done in an actual business with a hierarchy and with checks, balances, overhead, etc., etc. Now, I'd like to hear your thoughts on what I just said here.
Can I ask a question first? You told me you have people coming up to the lumberyard, breaking trees down and just kind of leaving the shit on the ground, just full Rusty or Ricky or
Axel. Yeah,
Axel?
That's been an issue that we've been dealing with for the past week.
Okay.
Now, Axel became wise to that, and it's a lot harder now to lie to him. You really got to put the work in. And we've been monitoring it, and I think people are, if they are still doing it, they're being a lot more sneaky about it.
So, Intel, why are they just chopping wood for no apparent fucking reason? Why are they chopping the wood?
So, Axel, when he would see the tree chop down, he would just assume that you're chopping it to process the timber, make planks. So he would boost your rating in the company. Now, people realize that there's some blueprints to be had, so they're going tree to tree, chopping it, and just dumping the logs.
Jesus Christ.
Now they're doing that for the blueprints, because God forbid they go to an actual lumber company to access certain materials or, like furniture, for lack of better words.
So this relates to the mechanic world of things, that how, well, this involves Mr. Lang's world too, on what we were dealing with when I went up to about 8 or 9 different people to ask them about material. They told me no. I asked them if I could buy parts at least, because they become craftsmen overnight. They told me no. And then they told me they were opening up their own mechanic shop. So that was the next venture they went on. So it's kind of similar what you're dealing with, that you're dealing with those scummy side of things. We're dealing with the other scummy side of things. So so we're in the same boat, basically.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the solution goes, I think the easiest is to first and foremost blackball, blacklist, or turn our backs to doing business with those type of people.
100%, yeah.
There's always the second option of cracking somebody over the head, and that option is always there, obviously.
Don't do it. I got a felony for it. For standing ground at my own business.
Just don't do it, don't get caught, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I had no choice. I had to have cops
Yeah,
down
I
there.
feel that.
Because Dundee's a dumb fuck, so.
So Dundee was the issue here.
Well, it's water under the bridge now. We had a long
yeah.
talk. It was Mosley's trying to blow our shop up 3 times over. He tried crashing into the air compressor. I smacked one of his guys over the head with a wrench, and I got caught with assault with a deadly, because there's no stand your ground law on a property, on a business.
Jesus.
Yep.
Now, we have amongst us here somebody who's in the sanitation department, is doing things the right way, and has a team of people over there collecting garbage since day one, collecting parts. We have 2 of the premier mechanic shop proprietors in Nino and Chip and Vinny. It's no secret that you guys need materials for parts, and the idea here, what I'm going for is, we control the lumber. Mr. Lang here controls the parts, for lack of better words, and you guys ideally would be controlling all car repairs. And by control, I mean setting the pace and standard.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, again, I've mentioned one way, which was to blacklist certain people. We just turn our backs, sort of publicly shame these people.
Yeah.
Is that something that everybody here is on board with?
I mean, that's something I'm already
course,
doing
yeah.
personally, yeah.
Yeah, we've been struggling with this for way too long, and yeah,
The problem, I mean, Nino can speak on this too. The problem in the mechanic industry is that it's so hard to blackball people when you don't know who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
Or it's the other thing, it's hard to blackball people because the people that are starting the mechanic shop running sanitation will next day try to come around and sell you materials to keep your shop open. So it's almost like a double dip. We've ran into that a couple situations, and obviously, Lang, we've been trying to get that relationship cooking with you, and I've sent quite a people your way actually. I've had people try to sell us materials directly, and I would say, sell them to Lang, and then hopefully we can.
Yeah,
try
nobody
to find a
sells
way.
me shit. That's the problem. No, nobody sells materials. They just
18 days later.
They just do it for their own gain.
Waiting for my materials.
Yeah, it's yeah, we've been struggling multiple different ways, and I'm sure you guys have as well. And it's these people that are, and we talked about this, Jack, right? It's these makeshift guys that think they can throw a brake caliper together and never touch a car part in their life. It's like, why would you trust that on your fucking car? But the next day they open a shop, and they're the ones out there running Sandy all day and building parts in their house all night to run the shop the next day. And then once they see that fails, then they're back to us. So we blackball them, then it's like we've been blackballing materials, which kind of sucks. They got us in a pinch. The sanitation has us in a pinch. I'll be real.
Lang, I'm sorry. Sorry, go ahead, Nino.
Before you ask, like, so what's happening to you guys? Because I haven't been seeing this myself.
Who, us?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We've
Chip,
had,
What are they doing?
yeah, on multiple occasions where, you know, we will literally walk around sanitation and ask people if there's any for sale. As I don't know if you've experienced, but it's just been tight. Obviously, circuit boards have skyrocketed. People paying up to $8 per circuit board, which, as you know, Nino makes our electronics.
Right.
These little mom and pop sanitation groups are actually, you know, running around and going back to the house and making car parts and trying to mark up car parts to $60, $70, $80 a piece. Now, here's the thing: is I did the math, right? So these people that are making these mom and pop car parts out of their apartments, they're charging you $70, $80 a piece when that material should go for about $3 per. They're making about $25 more per 14 material by converting it to a car part and trying to sell it to a shop than just selling the material outright. So they're trying to find a way to make more margin and taking advantage of the car sales or the repair shops.
So you're saying they're doing the whole like vertical slice?
Yes.
Yep.
Effectively.
That's exactly what they're doing, man.
Yeah. Interesting. I didn't even know people were selling car parts.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
I'll be honest. I as much as I want to blackball these guys, it's like when we don't have materials and these guys are trying to sling us car parts, we have to do something to stay open because nobody's getting materials, so we have to take the next best thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. We don't even really supply mechanics anymore. We just get our shit as circuit boards and we just sell that.
I fucking called it, you prick.
We know.
I fucking called it.
We know.
I mean, listen, right? I can sell that shit $8, $9 a pop. There's no way I'm not doing it.
I know, you're right.
We get
Lang, and I told Chip this yesterday. I said, I guarantee what Lang is doing now, because we found out that once you hit 100 stars with the guy down there, that you're able to like get a bunch of recycled material.
Here's what you want.
And then get what you want. Listen, it's a smart business move. But it sucks for us. But listen, you got to do what you got to do to put $1 in your pocket and $1 in your employee's pocket. So it's understandable.
The thing is, I don't think it'll last forever. I think it's just a hot commodity right now.
It's a hot
for a lot of
commodity,
people, you know?
exactly.
But even then, like producing materials at a rate that a mechanic shop needs is insane. We started going hard, but even now, I don't really run. I still do sanitation, but I ain't trying to be down there fucking 10 hours a day.
Hey,
A couple
lose your
hours here and there,
fucking
but that's not enough for a mechanic shop,
You know, and that's the same thing for us too. Is like we're sitting in our shops 24/7, and one thing that Vinny and I do with our employees is, trying to get them all become master gearheads. We want certified technicians at the shop, so to go send them out to do sanitation all day while potentially losing on their certification, it's kind of a bummer. But I guess it is what it is.
I already told my guys that they'll get fined if they go do sanitation.
Leave that to the sanitation experts.
Yep.
You guys know that route. You guys know what to dig for. You guys know what to look for better than anybody else. Why would we take somebody that's a master technician to have them digging trash cans? There's people out there that's been doing this shit for years. We're trying to stay in our own lane, man, and people are not afraid to dabble around and just go what's hot and fuck us all over that's actually doing shit the right way.
Oh, how do we fix it, though? That's the question, right? We're all
That is the
standing here.
question.
What the fuck do we possibly do at this
The
point?
blacklisting, the blackballing makes sense, right? And I'm super down with that. Like, transparently, all my customers tend to be like word of mouth, right? So most of them are like Group 6 drivers, a couple Sandy trucks, but I'd say like 95% of them, they only do that one thing. And unfortunately, even if we did go down the blackball route, and I'm sure some of those guys you said are like, doing sanitation and building the stuff, I think just hearing from this conversation, unless there's like hidden mechanic shops and the rest of them are only open for a couple hours a day.
Chat, watch how we start the pot.
It sounds to me like people are fixing their own shit and not even in a mechanic shop to begin with. So none of this is going to help anyways.
Well, Lang, do you know the reason why people have been doing this at sanitation?
Doing what?
The mechanic shit? Because
What do you mean?
So I don't know if you know about the mechanic background, but you physically don't have to sign in with anybody to fix a vehicle. So for a sanitation worker, it's all profit on them because they get no repercussion from the foreman down there because they physically are not signing in to be a mechanic. So right now, if I gave you a couple of parts to the vehicle, you can actually go up to that vehicle and you can actually start changing out parts on my car. And they're not facing any repercussion with the sanitation worker, with the foreman down there, because there's nowhere to sign on to be actually doing mechanic work. Just like a Mosley's job or a tow job or a sanitation job. So that's why the sanitation workers are they've been doing this for a long time now because they know they won't get in trouble with the foreman.
I feel like the sign-in thing, right? If Rusty, let's say, took more note of it, right? I think that'd help a little bit. I think us having that, not having the sign-in thing is pretty nice. I think the real thing is that we're shitting out blueprints and everyone and their mother can make it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you this.
I think that's like the
well,
main
Nino,
crux
didn't
of
you
it.
confirm with me that you that's why you had to buy the house? You couldn't even do it anymore on the smaller bench?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I
I
mean,
heard they can do it again.
Oh, they can do it again.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Red
Lord.
Red did it the other day.
Fuck my
not on.
fucking
That's what I heard.
Nino,
That's what
you-
I heard.
God
Just 2 days ago.
fucking damn it. I just bought that. I fucking woke up. I like tried to make some pots. I'm like, nope. I flew right to a house and hit the buy button. I'm out of debt now, though. So
Living large over here, Nino.
Yeah.
Let's go.
listen, I got up like 80,000 since then, so I'm
easy.
good now.
But you know what that says, bro? It shows your sacrifice to the trade of what you're doing. There's a lot of people that don't give a fuck about that. There's a lot of people, as soon as they can't make it, they'll just throw the blueprints away and say, fuck it, or I had my run. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people taking advantage of that. I'll be honest. I with the blueprints that I get, I throw them in the fucking trash. I don't sell
Same
them to
here.
people.
Yep.
As soon as you sell them to people, you're essentially giving the people that are deciding to do these craft your own parts, the apartment bullshit, the go ahead, the green light.
I had a phone call the other day. The guy wanted to buy pots from me. I'm like, I know you're not a mechanic. I don't know what you're gonna do with it. I told him $3,000 a blueprint, and he gave me one of those like, you know, like, why are you fucking me here? I'm like, what are you planning on doing with it? You know?
Yeah, it's just the world we live in, boys. But you know, there's not much we can do to it. Just like maybe we can find a solution within us and move forward with something. To be honest.
I think we're missing a big point here. Like I said, at the union, I got about 20 people, and we all work in unison. If I say that today we're gonna support this business and we're not gonna support that business, everybody fucking follows suit. It's no secret that Popular has got a wide array of connects. I know because I talk to people.
Yeah.
And they got nothing but good things to say.
I appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Man.
If all the people that you guys know decide to abide by a certain philosophy, then that is already a lot of power. Same with Mr. Nino over here, and same with Lang and everybody that y'all know.
Yeah.
So, if we decide here today that a certain behavior is a no-go, and if anybody's caught doing that behavior, not only are they gonna get smacked across the fucking head, well, there's gonna be other repercussions as well. People ain't gonna work with them. If somebody is caught talking to the police, they are labeled a rat, snitch, bastard. You know what happens to that guy? His career in the underworld is done overnight. You're telling me that we can't dictate certain behavior as being just as bad here with us in this circle and everybody we know? I truly believe that we can. And that's where the power of the unions and these heads of these businesses comes into play. If we can decide that a certain behavior is not proper, I'm telling you that behavior will evaporate overnight. And if people are going to be doing some slimy shit, they're going to have to do it in secret.
Not wrong.
Well, the problem is that's what a lot of in the mechanic industry is being done in secret. So I'll be very blunt with something. I heard that the guys down at LSIA are doing some slimy shit, and the Vagos are doing some slimy shit when it comes to materials and the way they operate. I don't know full details on it. I'm trying to get my hands on it, but this is what I've been told.
I don't know about the other one, but I know one of those does.
Yeah.
Southside one.
Yeah.
You know what actually happened? I was gonna buy a house down at down off by the barrio, right? And some of them are cool. Like I've known them for like a minute, many years ago. I told them my concerns about moving down to the barrio area, and one of these like new cats, never seen him before, wanted all the info. Next day comes up, shop is open, boom, boom, boom. It just is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a side effect of, to maximize profits, you do every link in the chain.
Yep.
And I don't even
Likes, what up,
necessarily
baby?
think it's like I see where
Likes,
you're
how
coming
you
from,
doing,
Vinny, with the,
beautiful?
like the sign-in thing, but like I don't even think that would be a deterrent. It's you know,
I mean, it would
because
be.
you'll just jump. It would to a degree, but I think the main thing is the pots.
Well, the problem
Right.
is the main issue we're having, Nino, is the sanitation workers that are now opening up all these mom and pop shops. That's our main issue we're having. If they know their main gig is sanitation, now if they know they have to go down to Rusty to work on a vehicle, and it'll evaporate their reputation with the foreman of the sanitation, I bet my fucking dick on it, they would never do mechanic work because they know the money's in the materials. That's my point.
There's a. Oh, go ahead, Nino.
In my mind, I feel like you know, when we're working on vehicles, regardless of whether you're signed in or not, you should see a bump or a bump down. Because to give you an example, there's a tow guy that works for me. He does roadside service. You know, vehicle's broken down, he'll throw a repair kit on it, bring it down. He was telling me, hey, take a look at my laptop. I've got like 40. I'm good 40 with Rusty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I see what you're saying, but I think like a mix of that with, anyways, it's hard. This isn't for us to solve here, anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, there is an election coming up very soon here, and obviously everybody is backing someone. Now I'm backing somebody, and if this person gets into office, I'll just say his name is Stelio. We'll be 100% sure and able to make sure that whatever power we can use to the mayor's office to fix this problem, he will do through us. Now, maybe you guys are supporting somebody else. I know there's another guy who is leading the polls. Is there anybody in this circle that is close to that person to guarantee when they get into office, they will act favorably towards the issues we're talking about here?
Well, I didn't even go through that person. I went to the actual Chief Justice and talked to him. And he says, I talked to 2 judges about this. I think a lot when the mayor finally gets like whoever the mayor is and they actually have those people at the seats. Both judges told me that there will be an actual business license you need to actually operate a business. So I guarantee that would alleviate a lot of the bullshit that's going on from what I was told from them, whether it's true or not. And I guarantee that would get rid of a lot of the bullshit that we are dealing with. Because now if you don't have a business license and you're operating, making money, number one, you're not paying taxes to nobody. It's an illegal shop and you're going to get shut down and you're going to get raided for it, right? So I think that's going to help a lot from what I was told.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is anybody running a mechanic shop is going to need a business license to do it,
Yep.
otherwise it's illegal, right?
Exactly.
So all of these issues that we're experiencing are pretty much going to evaporate once the election
Yes.
is
That'd
done.
be hopefully.
The way I've been stating
ideally.
it, the way I've been
That's looking
stating
at
it,
it
right
optimistically.
now, we are literally living in the wild, wild west times. Probably even worse. Once
Yeah.
everything gets structured, I think we're going to be more than fine. So this conversation we're having probably won't even mean much because we'll all
Yeah, I
be...
mean, Vinny's 100% right? Like once business licenses start coming out, because right now you have people are just going into mechanic shops and claiming that they run the joint, on the joint or whatever. There's no really check to stop that, right? So once Vinny can go and apply for a business license that allows him to run a mechanic shop, he then can go and prevent the other guy from doing it who's doing it illegally. And cops will shut that shit down and whatnot,
Yeah.
right? So that's going to help control people everybody and their mother trying to open up a mechanic shop.
Yeah.
So let me ask that. How would that affect sanitation there, Lang? Do you know if that would?
Well, a union is totally
sanitation
different.
is gonna be the wild, wild west.
Yeah.
If you want me to be honest, I think I think you guys gonna have your own crews that you know, run materials for you guys. I mean, the fact of the matter is, people are so. For example, if I kept selling to mechanic shops, let's say I sold 1,000 materials, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For $4 a pop, that's $4,000. When I could just sell those 1,000 materials as electronics for $8. So
Yeah.
I'm essentially losing 50% of my income.
And I would
Yeah,
tell you
absolutely.
you're a fucking idiot to
I
sell
would
the
say you're a
mechanic
maniac.
shops.
Yeah, it's like a deal I couldn't pass up. You know, I
100%.
had to
Get it.
pivot.
I can tell you this one thing about our company. We actually started a pure sanitation division. There's like 5 to 6 people in it that they're not allowed to work on vehicles and just run materials from us. And the benefit they get from it is that they get their sanitation trucks and their personal vehicles at a cheaper rate than normal people would get. And that's the incentive we give them for working for us.
And hoping that doesn't step on your toes, obviously.
Well,
Like,
I know Mr. Lang's doing what he has to do to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
his dollar, so it shouldn't affect him at all, you know.
Let me run one more thing. So it seems like a lot of my worries were pretty much not that big of a deal on account of this mayorship is gonna be put into effect. Businesses are gonna go up, and all this shady backdoor bullshit is gonna disappear.
Yes.
These undercutters. Okay.
Yeah, because like the judges told me, we're just waiting for people to get in office. That's it. Once those people are in office, everything will be a lot of headaches will be alleviated. It will be good.
The only concern that I would have is making sure the mayor hands out the business license to the people that deserve the business license, proper documentation, a history,
Rip
things
that
like that. There shouldn't be like an
sanitation.
Oprah saying you get a business license, you get a business license. At least, hopefully, they will ask for proper documentation or a history, so the right people get the right business.
Well, I think that's why it's important the right person gets into office.
I agree with that.
You know, and if he gets an envelope under the table, that he does good on that envelope. If you take my meaning.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I guess we'll see. We'll wait and see, man. That's all we can do is wait and see.
I do
Okay.
like the spirit of what you're doing, though. I'm a little. Who knows what tomorrow's going to bring, right? I think some of the regulation will help, but there may be other problems with specialized areas, and if there is a need to blacklist and there's and names involved, it'd be something I'd be open to participate in.
Yeah, same here.
Totally agree with that.
as well.
Okay, so again, I think that right there is the key point here. Today it's these undercutters. Tomorrow it can be something completely different, with 2 of the largest unions here and 2 of the biggest businesses. If this organization, syndicate, group, call it what you will, decide something is favorable or not favorable, that is a lot of power to move a lot of, to just affect a lot in the city without raising a gun, a knife, or a wrench.
Right.
And if a lot of the issues that I was worried about that I brought up here is going to be a thing of the past, that ability between some of the people here, and who knows, maybe the people in this circle can grow and other people can be included too. And maybe over time, some people will disappear from this circle.
Mm-hmm.
That is not something I think that should be lost on us here. Just saying.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm with you on that.
100%.
As far as like names and shit, like some slimy shit that's going on. So far, I'm hearing that Vago's down in the south side. When it comes down to mechanical parts and all that, there's a problem there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be first on my list right now. If I hear anything about certain things like that, I'm just gonna tell them to go to the right people, shut that shit down. I'm not gonna let that slide no more. I work with a lot of people, a lot of different people. They go to different mechanics. I'm usually recommending them to Popular or Nino here. Another thing is Jack.
Chat, what do you guys think of this
name?
conversation, chat? What do you think about this
No,
little
go
meeting
ahead.
we're having? Do you think it's
I
going to
think her
go
name
anywhere,
is,
or do you think it's going to be a
Sydney.
dead end?
What is it, Sydney Sweeney? Well, I don't know. her
Sydney
last-
Loon. Sydney Loon.
Okay, yeah, Sydney Loon. So Sydney Loon is somebody that came by with a dream of being an interior decorator. Needed a bunch of planks one day. We was asking for a number, never got a number. She then, shows up middle of the night, creeping around the fucking yard, chopping trees down. She's a lumberjack, she's a carpenter, and she's an interior decorator all of a sudden, just because we wouldn't hand over a blueprint.
I know exactly what
Now-
you're talking about. I fixed a vehicle today.
Now, I get it, right? Interior decorator's not gonna make a lot of money, and if you want to be a carpenter as well, cool. But to go through all that work, mind you, I know a couple people she work with. It's not even a quarter of what I got over there. Instead of just trying to set a deal or something, she want to do it all herself. She could be an interior decorator, do that, but go through the right channels. If I see her there chopping, and let's just say some of the times, when it came down to chopping and dropping, I had a feeling it was her. I called her about it, and I was speaking with her on the phone. I just asked, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, it's my day off, not doing nothing. I'm at the apartment." I said, "Oh, really? Well, people just told me right now they seen you up there chopping." She's like, "Oh, yeah, I was just chopping a little bit. I just needed some wood." Next thing I know, I hear her name again. And, she's not only selling planks, but trying to build some stuff for people at the same time. I think she's trying to just do too much work, and it ain't sitting right with me after having so many conversations trying to,
I'm with you on that.
benefit her business. So that's just another name on the list I ain't really fucking with right now.
I think there's gonna be there's a lot of ways that we can chop this up, and I think not everyone has the intention to necessarily circumvent things that we perceive to be good and healthy for inter-business
Well, it's not
operability.
only with the mechanic shop, it's everything.
And I think a big part of getting things in a certain way is encouraging people
Oh, fuck you,
to
Mr.
run a
Chang.
certain way, right? Because this city hustles and bustles, right?
Yeah,
People are
of
riding
course.
their G6 left and right trying to get this and that. And sometimes for a lot of them, something as simple as pulling them aside and getting them to see a different way of looking at things, I think is perhaps even more effective than maybe just jumping right to the blacklist. And the reason I think about that is I knew Sydney from a long time back. And I think she definitely falls into a territory of, I think she's trying to make her thing work. And I think if you have a chat with her, I think, she would not be at the top of my list of someone to blacklist, is what I'm trying to say.
I wouldn't put her there either. Look, her intentions aren't to go up there and undercut. That's not her thing. She's trying to kick off her business, and I get that, but I just feel like a lot of us have worked really hard to get to where we're at, put in the time and the effort, and even after I said I would drop prices to the point where it's only $1 more than what Axel buys, mind you. The most Axel will pay is $4 per plank, and that's for the best, highest quality, right? And I said I would just charge her that amount, or maybe even 5, on a day where she needs a lot and it's hectic. And that still wasn't enough. So I'll talk to her again,
Legit
I'll talk to her
businesses
and I'll
get
try
the tool,
to
their place,
see where her
and their
mind
fix,
is.
otherwise,
But
yeah,
I just had to bring
exactly.
that up because that's just an issue that I'm running into right now with, that's just one.
Let me drop a point on, and maybe we'll wrap it up with this. Let's say somebody comes in to the fold and say they're doing things the right way, but say they're competition and we don't like them. Maybe someone shows up tomorrow that's bothering Lang. Maybe there's someone shows up that's bothering you, Nino. Maybe someone that shows up that's bothering you, Mr. Chip. Is that still something that we want to wield? What I mean to say is our collective movement. Maybe somebody's an angel, comes from the fucking sky, but they, barking up the wrong fucking tree. Or are we gonna be all angels here too, which is okay if that's the case.
I mean, listen, I handle any motherfucker that's got to get handled. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
If it's a guy doing some fishy shit, girl, whatever. I mean, even down at the yard, I'm gonna keep it a buck. We've already bashed in like 14 different fucking people's skulls in with a wrench.
Oh yeah, we used my office one day too. That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Vinny
Yeah,
saw it
yeah.
firsthand. You know
Yeah,
what
then
I
I
mean?
caught a
We shook
fucking
motherfuckers down who were doing
Yeah,
stupid
then I
shit.
caught a
It's just how
wrench
we're
to my
running
fucking
shit
head
down
by Harry.
Now the only problem with that is also accepting that there's going to be a level of shit we can just not control. That's why I kind of just focus on my
True.
customers and the people that I work with, and I try to ignore the rest. Because if I try to control everything, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Okay, you said 14?
14, yeah, 1-4.
14 heads at the yard.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. We took out another 4 people the other night, and cops may have gotten involved. We're trying our best to control shit, but rats are always gonna be fucking rats. They're fucking rodents for a fucking reason. You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
The way
right.
to deal with
Meeting,
them
can I
is to keep
call you back?
exterminating, but they'll
It's an
keep
emergency.
multiplying and coming at you.
What's up?
I just got an email from the IRS. We owe $36,000 in taxes on our house. So your exemption has been lifted.
Oh, no.
Thank you very much.
No.
All right, guys. Well, look, like I said, I thought there were some big issues with the way people were behaving. And it seems like those issues are going to be solved very quickly here with the election. As far as
Bro.
I think that's the biggest thing to remember. I mean, Vinny hit the fucking nail on the head, right? The government, the fucking shit collapsed. The economy went fucking haywire. They're starting to get their shit together. Let's wait for the fucking mayor to come in. Let's see what laws, bills, and things start fucking getting passed. Because maybe in a couple of weeks, these will be all non-issues, right?
I mean, yeah. To just put it to you, last thing I'll say is that
Pick up Vinny a little bit.
when I went to my court case, both the judge and the cops felt terrible. They had to charge me with that felony, but they could not do physically anything because nobody is sitting at those seats to change legislation. Like the judge felt terrible that she had me with that charge, but she had no choice because there is nothing on paper that states you can stand your own ground at your business.
Yeah. I mean, it's what I tell my guys and girls every day. You know what I mean? People who endure are the ones who are going to survive. Because right now, Vinny said it. It's the fucking Wild West. You just got to keep doing your shit, endure all the bullshit that's going on. And I really do believe, once things get more structured, things will start fixing itself out. And if you're still sticking around doing what you're doing, you're going to, reap the rewards, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay.
Well,
Say less.
a lot of people trying to make
I
a
like
quick
the way
buck.
I like the way Lang think. Look, if you need to throw somebody in the wood chipper, say that. If I need to throw somebody in the compactor, you cool with that?
Yeah, I mean, listen,
Easy.
sometimes you got to straight handle motherfuckers the way they got to be handled. I mean, sometimes there's only one way to make people see the fucking picture. You know what I
Mr.
mean?
Chang, you done fucking spam me before I got
Yeah,
to charge
yeah.
you
If
If I can
taxes,
throw
you son of a
motherfuckers in my
bitch.
compactulator, but on my trash master, 100% I do that. I probably go through about 10 people a day, straight up.
Not on.
I fuck with that.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's
Well,
endure, fucking survive. We keep communication. We all try to do the things how we believe is the fucking right way, and then hope to God that when this fucking mayor gets elected, things actually change.
Yep.
All right.
Listen, the
Amen.
one thing I'll say is don't give up, because if you believe in what you're doing now, just keep sticking with it. That's what I've been
100%.
doing.
100%.
I'll say this: every business here, we're going to be supporting more so going forward than anybody else. So
Things will get better. You know what I mean? It's a down of a fucking new age. Things are just getting started.
all right. That's right. And if you guys know anybody undercut in the lumber union, you let us know. We'll do the same thing for you guys in your respective sectors.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Easy.
Hell yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
pass
like
you
it.
guys my number so you
Good
have
meeting,
it. Right?
guys. Sorry, I gotta head to another meeting, so I gotta
No,
get
take care.
the fuck
care.
out of here.
Yeah,
See you
Good to
later.
see all
take
you.
care.
There you go, boys. Take my number, message me. I'll store your numbers, and we'll stay in touch that way.
Bet that.